Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to give you another example of how to do tithe and offerings using AdventistGiving.org, which you can also get to it by .com, .net, in case you forget. So at church, you have the options to mail in your tithe and offering to the church directly. You can drop it off. You can call one of the pastors or one of the elders, such as myself, and we'll come and pick it up for you. You can use our church app. You can go to the website. A lot of it links back to this, AdventistGiving.net. So here we go. So when you come in here, you can log in, and what login does is it will keep history. It will um, have all your information that you've put in there. It'll even have like if you use like a debit card, so it comes directly out. You can have that set up in there. Some people don't feel safe, but this is pretty safe. Um, so anyway, what you're gonna do in my case, because I do have all this information stored. Well, some of it. Anyhow, so once it's in, it's going to ask you to pick a church. So you're gonna type in Hinsdale, and it brings it up right there. You'll see Hinsdale SDA Church on top, and then you'll see Phil M below it. So in our case, hit Hinsdale Seventh-day Adventist Church. And look, it looks just like a tithe envelope. So the first thing is tithe. The second thing is local church. So you have everything that has to do with Hinsdale Church, local church budget, church expense. I'll come back to this stuff. Then you have the conference. So all the things that the Conference of Illinois is trying to work on. And you'll see where it says more offering categories. You can click on that and choose more that will populate your envelope. You go down and you'll see world. So all the things that we're working on around the world. Um, One of them, like ADRA does a lot of things around the world. Like for example, here's AIDS babies. So in Africa, there's lots of babies that have AIDS, and so we help support them. It's kind of like our version of the Red Cross, I guess. Um, let's go back to local church. Uh, I'm pretty passionate about a bunch of things. Like one, the church needs repairs done. Uh, the children's ministries. Uh, I'm very big into Hinsdale Adventist Academy. The subsidy that is our commitment as a church to Hinsdale Academy. Uh, and we commit a certain amount a month to the school. And to be honest, we're really, 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 really behind on that. So if you have some money sitting out there and you're looking for someone to put it, would really encourage you to put it there in in uh, in the honor of our church. Like I said, we're really far behind on that. HAA student aid, that's another thing that I'm passionate about. There's a lot of kids that their families want their students to come to Hinsdale Academy and they just can't afford it. They're working their tails off and just can't seem to get there. And so they fill out for student aid, and then our church will then help them with that. Another really huge one, especially now, is Helping Hands. That one is basically if we know someone who is falling behind on bills or, um, groceries or whatever, there's set aside money that, the pastors can look over and see who needs what and, give them a little help so that they can get on with things. On here, you'll see under more categories, all these different ones. And over here in our situation is 180 Ministry. You click on that and you go back to the envelope and look, you can now put 6.3 million in 180 Ministry or whatever, and then it should populate. So let's say I'm going to do $20 for tithe. Woohoo! And then you click continue, and this is where you would put electronic check, or if you want to save a debit card, and then you just go past, and then it asks you questions, and you just fill it out. But it's super easy. There's a lot of memory, so that it knows what you've done historically. Um, so really simple, guys. So if you're into this, want to give online, a lot of people haven't been doing their tithes and offerings just because they're not in the physical plant of the church. So this is a great way to keep faithful. Um, tithe is a really big commitment. It's a leap of faith, because a lot of us might have the attitude that, well, I don't trust so and so to take care of my money. God doesn't need your money. This is all about faith. God asked us to do, the 10%. That's when you have to just take the money, give it, and let God worry about the details. And that's what I tell people when I hear them saying, "I don't know. I don't know if I trust so and so to handle my money." You're not asking them to trust for their trust. You're asking the trust in the Lord. So think about that. And I know with all the offering part of it, to put into those different categories, it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, love 180 to have money, but there's so many categories at the church that we could use the money all around. So hopefully this was easy. Hopefully I made sense and didn't ramble too on. So thank you for listening.